Fox Business, Bloomberg, Jim Cramer's The Street, MTV, Good Morning America, CBS Morning News, CNBC Squawk Box, Entrepreneur, Fox and Friends, Bethany, and The View.
Kevin Harrington.
Kevin was awarded the ERA's Lifetime Achievement Award for his monumental impact on the industry. Kevin is the author of Act Now, How I Turn Ideas into Million-Dollar Products. Kevin is inventor of the infomercial, original shark on Shark Tank, as seen on TV pioneer, and the billion-dollar man, Kevin Harrington. Everyone stand.
Rebecca, I look for two things. I look for a product that solves a problem and a mass market product. And I think this meets both of those. Every pet store in America will want this product if you put this on TV. That's what I...
Hello everyone, my name is Laura Nunn, and I'm the founder of Silk Bridge & Co. We are Europe's #1 Asian business consulting expert for small to medium businesses. Today, I'm here with one of the most successful entrepreneurs, former panel member of the American television series, Shark Tank, and global keynote speaker. Let's welcome Kevin Harrington.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Kevin. What an honor to have you here with us. So today, I would like to ask you $1 million question. For most of the companies who want to expand their business into the global market. And my question to you is, what do you think of expanding business into China for small to medium-sized Western companies? Is it good timing to do so? What 3 pieces of advice would you give?
So, great question. And I would say, first of all, I'm as an entrepreneur, I have been always in the business of getting a strong base in my home territory, which in my case is the United States, but many others that might be listening to this interview, if they would be based in Switzerland or in Europe, they would expand beyond there into China, possibly. I think, the first thing that I say is I look for a business to be reasonably solid on its home turf, to look for that stability as a prerequisite to expand on a global basis and or specifically into China. And I think that it's important that you have an understanding of your business model very powerfully in your home base before trying to go somewhere else. And because if you're going to try to duplicate your business in another market like China, it's important to have all of the inner workings of the business and some of the ups and the downs that you've experienced in your home territory, that you can also use as background for your expansion into the other markets. So I do think that yes. In the past, for myself, I've been able to take my business into foreign markets, from the U.S. into Europe, from the U.S. into China, for example. So I think so let's talk about the 3 things, assuming that you have a reasonably solid base and understanding of your business model in your home territory. Now, if you're going to go to China, for example, I oftentimes would look for, first thing would be some kind of good partner type person in that local market to help you navigate a lot of the local laws, customs, and intricacies of that particular marketplace. And the reason I say that is because many times, as I've expanded my business into Europe, into the Middle East, into China, Southeast Asia, if we tried to do things 100% on our own, a lot of times we would run into stumbling blocks, and we didn't necessarily know why we were having trouble making things happen and getting the support of the local community and the local support mechanisms that exist in some of these local countries. So when we would bring this third party into play, oftentimes we were able to move much quicker and have a much better chance of growing something not only solid, but something that could last for a long time. So I think part of the challenges are if you try to do it all yourself, you may not understand maybe why you weren't as successful as you could have been with somebody that was your local partner there, because it depends upon how operationally things are needed in that local market. But in many cases, like I'm in the business of putting products on TV, for example, we in the local markets need someone to be getting our TV programs dubbed into the local language and getting fulfillment centers set up and phone centers and customer service centers and all of these things that aren't just things that you can just set up remotely or that you can do that one time. Many times you have to move and shake and test and use one and then another. And, it's with a local partner in that particular market, you have the ability now to teach them what you've learned, and then you can kind of duplicate yourself and have them perform a lot of these local functions in those local markets and specifically in China. So I think this is probably the first thing that I recommend. And I don't when I say partner, I don't necessarily mean that they have to be an equal partner. They depending upon the local laws, if you can maintain a higher percentage of the equity, that's always good. And if you don't have to necessarily give up control of that entity. So a partner could have a minority stake and still be some person or business that's operating with you to make things happen in that local market. And so China in particular has, different things that are required to have maybe some kind of local representation in making things happen. So, someone that speaks the language, someone that is very well versed with the customs of the local marketplace. So I think, that's one of the key things that I often look for. Now, there's two ways that you could structure that. You could structure it as a partnership kind of a thing where somebody has equity and you set up a company, or you could also have almost like a licensing type of a relationship where you're licensing your intellectual property. You're in the case of my business where we own a TV show and we own a product, and we could license the show, we could license the rights to the product, and then we can receive a royalty as on some agreed upon fashion. So you can have a partnership type deal, or you could have a licensing type of deal. The third way would be to own it all yourself and try to control it all 100% yourself. But if you're a small business, that might be very difficult to do all of those things yourself from a remote location. And I know you're based in Zurich, Switzerland, so to have a business happening in China, it would probably be good to have what I call, boots on the ground kind of thing, helping you orchestrate the day-to-day of what's happening there. So I think that's probably one of the key things that I look for. Number two, I think I would also look for a financially stable kind of a situation, whether it's your own company. If you're the business that's going to be funding this venture, I'd say don't go into a foreign market or don't expand globally if you don't have the financial capabilities, depending upon how you're structuring the relationship. Now, I will say this, if you're controlling the business in China and you're responsible for financing, then you want to make sure you've got the proper capital for inventory or whatever you may need to make that business successful. But if you're licensing your intellectual property or your product or your techniques, there you may not need the capital, but you want to make sure that your partner or the person that you're doing the license agreement with has the proper finances to be able to operate that business. Because you don't want to get into a situation where you start to do something in China, get partway into getting it launched, and then you run out of money. So I think, I say look for a local partner or look for a local licensee. And also, number two, make sure that you have the right kind of finances. And I think, thirdly, I would say the important thing is making sure that you have the utmost trust and relationship with your people, so that you have the right kind of legal representation. And I call it making sure you've got the dream team. Okay, so I think that's really number three, would be not just picking anybody, but making sure that you pick a team of people that have the ability from all standpoints. I say you need a dream team, right? So make sure, again, we said you could do it yourself, you could do it in a partnership, or you could do it in a license. Now, no matter what version of those three you're doing, you need to have a dream team of people to be able to execute the operations of your business. And one of the big things when it comes to dream team, it's not just you need operational people, you need to understand all the legal processes, you need all the financial processes, but you also need to have a digital marketing expert as part of that dream team. And so maybe this is that third point of making sure, because today many businesses have great expansion opportunities by utilizing the strength of digital media opportunities. And that would be, utilizing some of the potential, like in the US, it's Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram. In China, they have different entities over there, but I know that there's some great digital companies in China that have been able, the Alibabas of the world that have grown to great heights by utilizing digital experts in connecting with customers. Is one of the key things, is making sure you've got that member of your dream team that is really very well versed in the world of digital marketing. So those are, I think, in summary, the three things would be: look for a great partner, licensee. Number two, make sure you've got great financing behind either you or that partner or licensee. And number three, make sure you've got a good dream team to help support that partnership or licensing operation with a specialist in the digital marketing arena. And so hopefully that's a good scenario for you to be thinking about, or anybody that might be watching our interview here today.
Wow, that's fascinating. And I'm sure your advices would inspire many business owners to think differently. Thank you very much, Kevin. Bye.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. Thank you.